Listen up, all fight fans and fitness junkies. You've been listening to me talk about Jocko Fuel for a while now, and if you've been waiting, the wait is over. This August, you can score a massive 30% off on all of Jocko Fuel's top-tier supplements. That's right, 30% off. Jocko Fuel is loaded with all of the good stuff and none of the bad. We're talking no added sugar, no artificial sweeteners, and absolutely no gray area or banned substances. Just pure, clean fuel to power your performances. And guys, I really want you to try some of my favorites like Jocko Go and Jocko Hydrate. This deal is only going to be available for the month of August. So use code CHAEL30 or go to JockoFuel.com. Don't wait. Fuel up with Jocko Fuel and crush your goals. Guys, click on the link below to make it happen. Kamaru Usman is washed up. I did not know this was going on. Kamaru Usman did an interview. He's out in Texas at a college showing and representing the sport that he came from. I caught this interview where he was having to answer questions about the narrative that he is washed up. I have never heard that. Have you guys said it? Do you guys believe it? I did not know anybody has said this ever. I have never heard that privately about Usman. I've never heard that in private conversations with people that don't like Usman. I have never heard he's washed up, but he has. He was having to answer for it. And you know what? If that is a narrative, let's go all in. Because there's a trajectory to a career, right? And it goes the same way. The toes you stepped on your way up are the asses that you're going to kiss on your way back down. Like, it goes the same way. You try to break into the business. You try to get your name out there. You try to fight guys that got a little bit more recognition than what you deserve. And your first time on the main card won't be because of you. It will be because of them. You finally found a way to lure one of them out. You're on the main card. You might make your way to a co-main event. Very rarely, less than 1/10 of guys will get above a co-main event, but that could be a main event. Oh my goodness, that could be a title shot of a pay-per-view, right? But okay, then you stay there as long as you can, and you come back to the co-main event, and you're working your way down to just enough to be on the main card. Then you fall off the main card, getting less press conferences. You're talking about the heyday, and you're one bad performance or loss away from the unemployment line where you started in the first place. Like that's the life of the career. So because of that, a guy like Kamaru Usman that's washed up has been, right? This is what, I can't believe this is actually being said about him. I truly have not heard that anywhere, but he did. Okay, great. If he's washed up and his best days are behind him, he was still a world champion main event and he still gets to work his way down the card. He's still going to get a contract and then he's going to get one after that. At a minimum. Does anybody disagree? I'm pausing so you can think about that and give me your retort. Because if he's washed up and he's a has-been, you don't need him in those co-main spots. You don't need him jerking the curtain. You don't need him anywhere on the card. Can we agree? But you also can't shake him. You can't get rid of him. This is the same respect that everybody gets shown on their way down. Okay. Let's make a deal. Let's speed it up. All in or all done. Usman fights one more time. It's for the title. If he doesn't win it, we don't play the work your way down the card game. We don't play the co-main event, short notice, change weight classes. We don't play any of this. Thank you, F you, goodbye. Do we have a deal? Do we have a deal? This is what I was wanting to come out of Kamaru's mouth. As he was giving this interview, this is what I wanted him to say so badly because he is on the cusp. And if anyone knows it, it's him. He's had more damn title fights than anybody. Because he was bringing the belt most of the time. Even in his college days, he wrestled for the championship. Even in his Ultimate Fighter days, he fought for the championship. The guy doesn't know anything that isn't championship matches. So, he is right there about to get Leon. I apologize, Blahal. He is right there. There is only one guy, even in discussion, that might nudge him out. And that is Rakhmonov. And it's wildly important that they get this figured out. If Rakhmonov nudges him out, there's probably not going to be another time that Kamaru is going to be needed. This is the time he's got to beat him. Rakhmonov has got to shine himself up just a little bit more. The UFC, no matter how big it is and no matter what the fan base is not ready for a press conference with Muhammad and Rakhmonov. And Kamaru Usman has got to push that narrative. And I'm only sharing that because he's this close. And at one point, he didn't know it. Talking about Kamaru, he didn't know it. In fact, Kamaru called out Rakhmonov, saying, Rakhmonov is next. If I beat Rakhmonov, I then get to become next. Kamaru had not paid attention that Dean Thomas had already gone on ESPN, Lorosenko, Brett Okamoto, and yours truly co-signed the statement that he should be next. He should be now. So Kamaru finds that out a day late, but then he gets on board with it. And I'm just sharing for you. That's where we're at. That announcement is going to come. Belal Muhammad will be defending his title for the first time versus, and it is either going to say Shavkat Rakhmonov or it is going to say Kamaru Usman. There is no other name. When the Belal announcement comes out, it will be against one of those two. And you can't argue against Rakhmonov. I believe he's won 18 fights. He's finished them all. He's got an undefeated UFC career. He's incredible. But he also was coming off of an injury. He hasn't done a great job of getting in the media. His name's going to come out of that lottery ticket because it did, not because of something that he did in terms of promotion, none of which I'm stating are bad things. I'm just stating what it is. And I do believe that Kamaru Usman could up the attention, right? They're in a battle right now. Rakhmonov versus Usman. They're in a battle for the paper. One of them gets sent the bout agreement. They're in that battle right now. And I think Kamaru's doing just fine. I'm not sure he's not going to win this thing, but I will also admit it's a little bit of a toss of a coin. It's not going to just come down to Kamaru, what have you done for me lately? Shavkat, what have you done for me lately? A little bit's going to be, hey, we got to shine this guy up. And I think if Kamaru comes out and puts a cherry on the sundae and says, I'm all in. I think if he comes out and says, I will make a deal with you right now. You say I'm washed up. I say I'm the best. One of us is right. And we're going to let Belal Muhammad decide. I believe if he sweetens the pot to that, if he raises the stakes to that, I believe for sure he will be next to face Belal Muhammad.